It's Halloween, and we are just a few days away from Election Day 2020. And on today's edition of Jimmy at the Crossroads, a special one in partnership with the Washington Examiner, I'm going to talk with President Donald J. Trump. We're going to find out what he has to say on this campaign trail as we close in on Election Day. You're watching Jimmy at the Crossroads. I'm Jimmy Sengenberger. We're starting right now.
Gonna talk money, gonna talk politics, great for all generations. Oh, what a great mix, I said. Gonna talk money, gonna talk politics, great for all generations. Oh, what a great mix. I got Jimmy at the Crossroads, making sense out of nonsense. Come on, Jimmy, what you got?
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another edition of Jimmy at the Crossroads, a special one on this October 31st, Halloween, and we are 3-4 days away from Election Day 2020. If you can believe it, we are already just about there, and I am just pretty darn stunned right now, folks, that we are upon Election Day in just a matter of days. So good to be with you once again in partnership with the Washington Examiner. By the way, if you like our content, please click the like button. Please go ahead and share it. Pass along Jimmy at the Crossroads so we can spread the word and get more eyeballs on our great content. Today we're going to have some fun. I am so pleased and privileged, and I don't want to wait any longer to welcome this gentleman onto the program. He is the 45th President of the United States. Donald J. Trump joins me exclusively here on this Halloween edition of Jimmy at the Crossroads. Mr. President, it's such an honor.
Jimmy, you've got such an unbelievable show, and you always have. I'm your biggest fan. This is unbelievable. And Jimmy at the Crossroads, we're breaking new ground so quickly.
Well, I appreciate it, especially now that we have you on the show at long last. I've been waiting all show for this. We're now in our 125th episode with you, and we've been waiting so long for this moment. But I have to ask you, where in the world are you right now?
I'm right here in Colorado. I really am, and I've snuck in very secretly till now to a very great mutual friend of ours who's allowed me to take over his humble abode just for the moment. I want to be close, Jimmy, not too close, but close enough, and I don't want to be in Washington. There's a lot of scary things happening, not only in Washington, but here around Halloween. Can you imagine Joe Biden? Oh, my God. It's like Freddy Krueger. This guy never goes away. He never goes. You can't kill him. Why? He's evil.
It's so true, Mr. President. But let me ask you this question. The campaign trail is still on the way, or you're still on the campaign trail, but Election Day is just a few days away. How are you feeling right now?
I feel strong, I feel healthy, I feel great. I'm over the COVID. There's no question that it's serious, but, here's the thing. Let's move on. Let's go forward. Let's vote, folks. Vote by hand is very important. Go in and vote yourself. Also, China, I'm all over this. They have some sayings in China, like never let go of the president who's now in office. That was, I think, Confucius who said that. They're very wise.
I'm not so sure about that one, but fair enough. So in terms of this campaign against Joe Biden, are you feeling like you're going to overtake him? Do you think you're going to have victory on Election Day? Are we going to win, Mr. President?
They say the tortoise and the hare. Now, Joe is the tortoise, obviously, but nobody bothered to wake the tortoise up to explain to him that there was even a race going on. I'm at the finish line right now. I'm at the finish line. We're at the finish line. We got no problems with Sleepy Joe. He's still, he's on his NyQuil, whatever he does. I don't know.
I have to tell you, President Trump, that you have accomplished so much, including Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who was just sworn in to the Supreme Court this past week. Your third appointment successfully made to the United States Supreme Court. What do you have to say in celebration?
Well, this is unheard of. This is unheard of in history. No president, all the way back to George Washington, has done this. It's what Wayne Gretzky would call a hat trick. Only a hat trick like unbelievable, folks. I have 3 in now. 3 Supreme Court justices. Amazing hat trick! And it's all due to me.
Well, you did do quite something in terms of standing up behind Brett Kavanaugh when he had his go at the Supreme Court nomination process in 2018. No other president would have stood by Brett Kavanaugh like you did, sir. I am sure of that. And then also Amy Coney Barrett, now Justice Amy Coney Barrett. What an accomplished and successful woman, mother of 7, and a tremendous intellect. The idea that you would make a point of securing this nomination and getting it through before Election Day is very encouraging to conservatives like myself, Mr. President.
She has all these children, and all of these liberals are saying, it's impossible, you can't split your loyalty. Nonsense. She's done such a beautiful job, Jimmy. Can you see? Can you imagine? Oh, no, you have to either be work. That's insane.
Yeah.
This woman is amazing. She's so young. I'm very old compared to her, and we're going to have many, many years of wonderful, wonderful decisions.
Yep, I completely agree. So President Trump,
wait to see it.
One of the things that people are very concerned about, of course, is COVID-19. You survived the virus. What message do you have for the American people today when it comes to the coronavirus, sir?
It's serious business, but it is business, and business has to continue. America is about business. Let's face it. It really is. People, these small businesses, they're not doing too well with the mask thing. So let's go forward. Masks, wear them if you want to. That's great. But let's open these businesses up. Let's open schools up, businesses up, corporations, everyone welcome to come in, and we're going to get through this. It's very serious. It's not to be ignored, but we're going to put America back to work. But if this Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, gets in, you might as well say, give a NyQuil to the economy, because it is not going to be good.
I think that's a good analogy. And NyQuil to the economy. That's what Biden is going to be if he becomes president. Now, a lot of people are also wondering, President Trump, what your second term agenda will include. What are the top priorities of a Trump second term?
Well, I've been thinking about this all along, Jimmy. As you know, I've done some fantastic things, great things. Probably one of the greatest presidents, or the greatest president in the world ever. But let's get down to basics. When you drive down the street, what's the last thing you want to see? Other than a stray dog? Traffic circles. They're going to go. They're going to be gone. Old people don't like traffic circles. They didn't fight in World War II to have these communistic traffic circles. It's, whatever happened to the four-way stop? I noticed this 20 years ago when this started under Clinton. And it's everyone join in. Let's hold hands and go into the circle. Wrong. You take your territory at a four-way stop if you dare. If you don't, you get spit to the side. That's the way it is. Also, here's an interesting fact. All these jobs went to Mexico. I'm going to bring them back. The Keebler elves, their factory is now in Mexico. These elves, they don't even speak Spanish. What are they going to do? I'm going to bring them back home to Iowa or wherever. And they're going to get back in that tree, and they're going to do so much amazing work, so many cookies. You've got my favorite's the oatmeal raisin, to be honest with you. I've got to be honest, the oatmeal raisin.
If we're talking about Keebler, I'm trying to think of which would be is Fudge Stripe Keebler? Are those Keeblers?
I think they are. With the drizzle thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if that's the case, then those are probably my favorite of the Keebler cookies, but I'm not sure. I love a lot of cookies. They just can't have nuts, Mr. President. I'm not one for nuts.
When it's not Girl Scout cookie season, anything goes, but you're going to turn to Keebler. Because Girl Scout season, let's face it, it lasts for about 2 weeks for us. And then everything's gone.
So eliminate traffic circles and bring back the Keebler elves to America from Mexico.
Bring the elves back. They're so confused down there.
Now, how about China? What is your agenda in terms of China? I've been a critic. You know this. I've been a critic of your China trade war. What do you think you need to do in 2021 if you're reelected with regards to China on trade and other issues?
Everyone might not like it, Jimmy. Some people, maybe you don't like it, but they're a huge trade partner of ours. I've been very strong on China. I've been very rigid about it. Unlike Barack Obama, who just didn't even seem to care. Now, I've talked to Xi, who's a he. She's a he. He runs China. That's just how it is. And I have to say to Xi, look, Xi, we're going to get some things done. And these tariffs are going to become so fierce if you don't draw the line. It's going to be tough, but we're going to get it done. We're already making such fantastic progress with China. We just are. Like never before, and it's just going to continue from there. We're going to get Hong Kong back, and you'll have Jackie Chan movies again. It's going to be great.
Once again, we're talking with President of the United States, Donald Trump, here on this special Halloween edition of Jimmy at the Crossroads. President Trump, you have achieved tremendous success in terms of bringing about greater peace in the Middle East. United Arab Emirates and Bahrain both signing on to the Abraham Accords with Israel. Then Sudan gets on board and says, yes, Israel, we want peace with you. The administration keeps securing these peace deals. Do you expect this will continue under a Trump administration?
Of course it'll continue. It's an ongoing process, and for thousands of years, these people have been at each other's throats, let's face it. Israel is an island to itself. We're their only ally over there, and we've got to protect them, but also be fair. Let's be fair, and I'm being very fair. This peace process is being hailed as the greatest thing since what was it, when, who was it, the guy, you know who I mean, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe, when they got together. I'm going to take this really quickly. Hold on. Oh, that was Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's on the phone right now. He's begging me for something. I said, I'm going to tell everything.
So, Mr. President, actually, since you're mentioning Hunter Biden, so is he trying to stop you from telling the truth about his business dealings in China and in Ukraine and what's going on with Tony Bobulinski and Hunter Biden's own father, your opponent in the presidential race, Joe Biden?
Good Lord, this guy is like Tony Soprano. You never know when he's telling the truth or not. Mostly he's not, and he's doing so much criminal activity. We're going to prove it. There he is. No, Hunter. We're not going to. We're going to prove it, and we're going to give him such a Valentine, because all this information is going to come out on February 14th. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait, why February 14th? Why Valentine's Day?
We're sending them a Valentine that they'll never forget.
Okay.
It's going to be the Valentine's Day massacre, Jimmy, with these guys.
So in terms of Hunter Biden, I mean, the revelations from Tony Bobulinski, he is saying that that he's got all these emails, he's got proof of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, who he says he met with. Tony Bobulinski says he met with Joe Biden a couple of different times. He's got evidence that shows how corrupt they really are. Do you think that the media will ever get on this, even after Election Day? Because most of the media is trying to brush it off.
Of course not. Some of my friends at Fox are in the know. But Tony Barbecue, as I call him, and for good reason, he's going to stick the apple right in Joe Biden's mouth and put him on the spit along with his son. It's going to be so glorious. So glorious. Barbecue.
Okay, and what about the idea that former Vice President Joe Biden is the big guy in one of these emails, supposed to get some of the proceeds from one of these deals or something like that?
I've heard this. I've had my advisors tell me about this. I don't know everything. I only hear things, but he is. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Let's be honest. For once, Carol, you're not supposed to be honest. You're the president. Well, I'm going to be honest. This guy is the big guy. He's the big cheese. El Jefe, top banana. Let's just face it. It's like, the head of the crime ring is right there. And now Tuesday, he wants you to vote for him? He wants you to vote for him, folks. So vote for me so much.
So, President Trump, I understand that with it being Halloween and all, you have been visited by some ghosts, some spirits. And you recorded these actual visits. They're just audio that I've got, but I wanted to share them if I could, please. Is it okay if I share them with the audience?
It's fine. My friends at Ghost Hunters accompanied me, and this really happened. This was a little bit unsettling, I must say. But go ahead, Jimmy. You're absolutely on your show.
All right, Mr. President, let's take a listen first.
This is former President Ronald Reagan. Now, Donald, I served 2 terms, not through guile and malice, but through intellect and, well, a plainsfolk attitude. I remember, during my acting days, I was in a film called Curse of the Werewolf. And what we learned there was there's a thin line between morality and insanity. And Donald, don't trip over that line and fall on your head. That would be unfortunate. By no means.
Mr. President, do you understand what Ronald Reagan was saying there?
Only someone who's been president could really understand that, Jimmy. It's kind of an inside thing. And when you glom onto that, and you've been advised by the CIA, FBI, and I must say, secretly the Ghost Hunters and Ghostbusters, too, you'll know what he's talking about. And you'll agree with him emphatically.
All right, well, we got one other president who had sent a message through the ether.
Donald, this is former President John F. Kennedy. I sent man to the moon and returned him safely to Earth. What I propose that you do, Space Force, going back to the moon, capture Joe Biden, send him up in a space capsule, and land him on the moon, where he can live out his days in peace. After all, he doesn't even know what planet he's on right now.
I think he's got a point there.
It's very true. It's very true. And, talking to Jack, we talked sort of off camera, some comments that we can't talk about. But
of course,
we're very much the same in some ways. And his philosophy about launching Biden into space is brilliant. And I may use it. Even if I don't, prevail on Tuesday, I have people who work at the Space Force who are very powerful. That's all I'm saying. I'm not promising anything, because if things don't shape up on Tuesday, I'll be back in 4 years, folks.
President Trump, what else is on your mind? I mean, there's so many issues that are facing the country right now. You're on the campaign trail day in and day out. What else is on Donald Trump's mind? Some might say this is a very dangerous question for me to ask, by the way, but I'm leaving it open-ended just for you.
Well, there's some very disturbing highlights that are coming up, and we're going to work on them very carefully in the next couple of days. Probably on Sunday, some of this is coming out. We have very clear evidence that the Democrat Party's precious Chuck Schumer and what's her name? The Pelosi. Now, they were filmed last Christmas, and they had a van cam. They were going around, and on these Ring cameras, they're porch pirates. Schumer would park the van, and then Pelosi would get out, run up, and steal the wonderful gifts. This is documented. We've got it. Some of the CIA cameras have it. This is going to be shocking in so many ways.
Wait, you're saying that CIA cameras and Ring cameras have Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi on tape as porch pirates at Christmas time?
Proof. Absolute proof. There's no denying.
That's just absolutely tragic.
It's horrible.
My heart is broken for those kids who lost their toys.
Well, the thing is, it's not like, at least the Grinch brought the tree back. He brought all the gifts back. They had a party. It was great. He was wonderful. He was the master of ceremonies. There's not going to be any of this for these poor kids.
So 2 final questions for you, President Donald Trump. Number one, what do you make of Joe Biden overall and his candidacy, and what a presidency of Joe Biden might be like if he were to win on Tuesday?
Well, he's pretty much asleep all the time. And so, being so close to Halloween, let's just call him the mummy. But if you saw the first mummy, it was pretty bad. I mean, it was awful. It's going to be 4 years of zombie government. let's just pay it. Your taxes are going to be so high that you will be mummified in stupefaction at what this guy's going to try and do to you. That's going to be a nightmare. I don't think it's going to happen. I've got a pretty good feeling that this Tuesday we can all celebrate together, Jimmy. I'll probably be in Colorado that night at my friend's house here.
Okay.
So
Really? On election night?
Well, on election night, I've got a very fast airplane. I very much do. I can't talk about it. It's not Air Force One. It's something that Space Force is working on. It's very hush-hush. Let's be
Okay.
please.
All right. Well, Mr. President, also, I know that you are a fan of my harmonica playing, and I was just wondering if you might want to jam for a minute, do a little call and response thing.
Well, I'm not the greatest singer in the world, but anything for you, Jimmy.
All right, Mr. President. Well, I appreciate it very much. Let's just see how this goes a little bit.
When I went down the crossroads, fell down on my knees, down to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. Can you believe it? I asked the American public to not bring on Joe Biden disease. That would be bad. Bad in the bones. Get on down. You gotta get on down. Ladies and gentlemen, get on down. Get on down to the ballot box. Get on down to the ballot box like Jimmy plays.
President Trump, I think...
You tell the truth with your harp like I do with my words.
I think that was incomprehensibly epic. What we just performed right there was absolutely incomprehensibly epic.
Teamwork.
Teamwork indeed. Mr. President,
Teamwork.
a final Halloween message for our audience, please, Mr. President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, running for re-election.
In the words of Jack Nicholson, I love the White House. I want to stay here forever and ever and ever.
Do you have a Halloween message that we can share with the audience? It is Halloween, sir.
Oh, yes. That too. Listen, if you get a call from Joe Biden and a robocall, you know how they do these things. What you need to know is that he's calling from inside your house.
Okay. All right. That's a perfect warning, President Trump. And finally, a pitch for your campaign.
He's calling from inside your house.
Be careful. Be wary. That's for sure. A final message for your campaign too, sir.
People, we've made so much great progress over these last 4 years. So much progress. We've undid so many mistakes, so many awful mistakes, and now it's only going to be better and greater. Supersonic for the next 4 years, can you imagine? And then in 4 years, who's going to be running? Maybe it'll be Donnie Jr. You never know. The legacy continues. Ivanka.
We will see what happens. President of the United States, Donald Trump, thanks for coming on today. Happy Halloween.
Great job. We love what you're doing.
Best of luck on the campaign trail, sir, with this November election.
We got it in the bag.
President Trump, it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, joining us here on Jimmy at the Crossroads. So you gotta have fun, especially on Halloween. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of fun, especially during these very tense and difficult times for so many Americans across the country. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Well, that is it for us today here on Jimmy at the Crossroads. My thanks, as always, to our partners at the Washington Examiner, to Mark Corrigan, my guest today, a.k.a. President Donald Trump, and to you for liking, subscribing, sharing, all those good things for our content. We so appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this little bit of levity, please like it and share it. Have a great Halloween. Make sure to get your ballots in by Tuesday. Make sure your vote is counted. Have a great rest of weekend. Happy Halloween once again. And as always, may God bless America.